It was boring. Like, literally watching that game, nobody was playing any form of defense. Like, I don't think players on the defensive side were closer than, like, 3 feet to the offensive player. It seemed like the offense never really crossed the three-point line once they got on the opposite side of the court. Like, I don't know.
This weekend was NBA All-Star Weekend.
Ooh, that's right. It was.
In Indiana.
Oh man, what a weekend! I feel like did you watch anything on Friday?
No.
Me neither.
That's the celeb game, right?
Yeah, the celeb game and the skills challenge and stuff like that.
The rookies and sophomores, but the World and USA game, whatever it's called, is Friday.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff that nobody cares about is on Friday.
The warm up.
What about you, Troy? Did you watch anything?
No, I didn't watch anything.
Okay. So. Then Saturday came around, and Saturday was probably the best part of the weekend because they had a 3-point contest. They had Sabrina versus Steph, my guy Dame, back-to-back 3-point champion. Shout out to Dame. And then we had the dunk contest.
Yeah, we had all those things. We had the skills challenge, which was a little bit weird. Mm-hmm. I think the Pacers won that.
They did.
At home in Indiana. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
The Indiana fans were a little bit crazy. They were booing. Like, I don't know. They just didn't seem happy.
I mean, when they were booing during the dunk contest, I was booing too. Because that shit sucked. It was not good.
God.
It was not good at all. What did you think of the dunk contest?
The dunk contest, I was sad that Jacob Toppin didn't get to the finals. I thought he had two really solid dunks.
I did
especially
too.
The 360 between the legs. Like, come on! But Jaylen Brown was like the only star dunking, so they had to get him in the finals. Unfortunately,
he wasn't barely dunking. Like, he was not barely dunking. I mean, he jumped over Kai Cenat, who's already like 4'11". But he had him sitting down in a chair. After the previous round, we saw somebody jump over Shaq. So it was just, I was really disappointed. I don't know what they're going to do about the dunk contest. I feel like if you're going to bring Mac McClung up from the G League every year so he can win the contest, you need to give the man a fucking contract on an NBA team. Like, you can't just parade him out there to be a show pony because nobody in the league apparently can dunk anymore. And then he goes back to the G League and we never see him again until next year.
So you're saying they should restrict it to NBA players? I mean, they can't just give him a spot on the team because of the dunk contest. That's ridiculous.
I think either you restrict it to NBA players or you got to change the format completely.
I think they should give $500,000 to the winner, incentivize it, make it worth someone's while,
Maybe.
Like if you have a big sponsor and that's the main event, pay something like you do for the in-season tournament. The 3-point contest is great though. Like, Jalen Brunson, shout out to him. He had 24 in his first round, almost made the cut at 26 to get to the finals.
4 people tied at 26 is crazy.
Insane. And shout out to Dame, man. He's been shooting like, his divorce depends on it. I'm not even going to lie, man. Shout out to him, 2-time 3-point champ. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Steph for holding the patriarchy together.
That's right. Did you like the Sabrina versus Steph sort of thing?
It was cool. She did really, really well.
She did.
But she's facing the greatest.
I was really impressed with her because I did not have high expectations, I got to say.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I also want to be transparent. I don't really watch WNBA, so I don't know about her game like that. I looked up her stats. I was like, oh, she's a baller.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when she started shooting, and I think she made every shot or 9 out of 10 in the first 2 racks or something like that. I was like, oh, wait a second now. and then she started to cool off towards the end. Maybe she was just getting tired or something. But then Steph came out. And I was like, this might be close. And then at the end, he was like, I'm that dude. Yeah. Like, I'm him. Like,
for sure.
I lead the league in all-time threes for a reason. And it's not close.
Yeah. I thought it was cool to showcase her because I'm not familiar with her or the WNBA. Yeah. So I thought it was good that they actually, made the investment of time knowing people, are watching the All-Star game, All-Star weekend. They
For
gave
sure.
it like a premier spot too in
Yeah.
the night. So
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I did.
The dunk contest is like, I don't know, maybe make it more interesting. But I mean, all the dunks have been done. The stars don't want to do it. I don't blame them.
I mean, I don't want to say that all the dunks have been done because
Okay.
right after the dunk contest, where everybody dragged the shit out of that contest, whether it was because of the actual participants, because of the effort, because Jaylen Brown wanted to cover his eyes when both feet were on the ground, because of the judges not being harsh enough or too harsh or whatever. Like there was a lot to complain about with the dunk contest. But I saw plenty of videos online of people doing some crazy fucking dunks that I've never seen before, and I just think people don't care. Now Stephen A. he talked a lot about how this is all LeBron's fault, and I gotta say I kind of agree with him.
Why do you agree? Why you think this is all on Braun because he never did the dunk contest?
LeBron has had 20 years to do the dunk contest and never done it.
He'd rather dunk at his son's practice or during his son's warm-ups.
Exactly. He'll do it in that setting when it's not even his turn to have the ball, but he won't do the dunk contest. And this is what we get. Nobody. Once he came out and said, "No, I don't feel like it's important for me to do that," then nobody else who was the top player felt like it was kind of a rite of passage to do the dunk contest.
I mean, I could see that, I was looking forward to him when he first came in the league to do it, but I don't know. We've had some good moments like Dwight Howard, Blake Griffin. Like a lot of people since then have done it. But I don't know. Like All-Star Weekend is more of a fun type of event. Like I don't really have high expectations for these things in the past like 10 years. I will say though, I think the Jaylen Brown, I think he was covering his eyes afterwards because he was embarrassed. He knew he fucked up. He was like, "Oh shit," and he had like a delayed reaction. So like, give him a little bit more credit. But I don't know. That was a little bit lame.
So what is it with like our sports where you think about NFL, Pro Bowl weekend? Nobody gives a shit about that anymore. They play flag football now because nobody gives a shit so much.
Nobody wants to get hurt. Let's be real. And also, you talking about the NFL, they added a whole nother game in the season. So you're talking about players who could barely make it through the season. So I think that was a part of the reason. It's like it's hard on your body.
And NFL, I get it a little bit more for those exact things. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the physicality of it, people getting hurt and stuff like that. I will say I don't know of anybody that ever actually got hurt during a Pro Bowl. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I don't remember anybody really getting hurt. But then All-Star Weekend, nobody cares about it. They don't take it seriously. I mean, let's talk about the All-Star game. First 200-plus point game. I think they shot 160-something three-pointers. Oof. They said there was like less than 10 dunks in the game. Like, what? I don't. It was boring. Like, literally watching that game, nobody was playing any form of defense. Like, I don't think players on the defensive side were closer than like 3 feet to the offensive player. It seemed like the offense never really crossed the three-point line once they got on the opposite side of the court. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I thought it was cool to see 200 points scored in the game. I thought that was cool. It was never competitive, but it had its fun moments. It was great to see Dame just take a lot of shots and Halliburton as well.
True.
I was happy to see Jalen Brunson on the court. But like NBA has been doing some cool things, I would say, with the play-in tournament, which I did not like at first. I think it's added a lot of excitement to the game, to the playoffs. And also they did the in-season tournament this year as well, which, has an added game to the season in a different format. So I feel like adding these other things, it kind of takes away from the All-Star game in a way, but it's hard to take it serious when people just want to break. It's called All-Star break for a reason. They want to, like, if your team is competing for the playoffs, you want to use this time to rest and get healthy to, play through March and April before the playoffs. So I think, they can find ways to make it more fun. I'm glad they went back to East versus West. But at the end of the day, it's a meaningless game. It's an exhibition. It's more fun. I know it used to be more competitive, but now it's just like your eyes are on the prize. You want to make it to the finals. Like, you don't want to get hurt during an all-star game. So you want a little bit of rest.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad. I didn't have high expectations. And also, it's in Indiana. It was a pretty mid-city. There weren't a lot of stars there. I saw Guy Ferrari out there on the sidelines for every event. I'm like, this is who the biggest celebrity is in Indianapolis?
It's tough, man. People are, the economy is struggling. Not everybody can go, like, back-to-back from Super Bowl to All-Star to
Grammys.
Grammys, shit. Valentine's Day. Like
Valentine's Day, threw Valentine's in there.
Listen, that's an event.
Bro, they acted like it was Valentine's Day with Jennifer Hudson as the halftime show. What the hell was that? That shit was trash. I didn't even know any of her songs.
I love Jennifer Hudson, but that shit was trash.
Bro, this isn't the Essence Festival. Like, who, especially, like, for the NBA All-Star, like, Jennifer Hudson, whose idea was that?
I don't know.
Was it Common's idea? I saw him out there too.
I don't know whose idea it was, but speaking of Essence Fest, don't they have like a crazy lineup this year or something?
I don't know. I haven't peeped.
I feel like it was somebody said there's. I know the Roots Picnic has a crazy lineup.
Yeah. All the festivals coming out this summer. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, like
all the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.